Hello, my name is Cindy Brison. I'm with the Nebraska Extension in Douglas and Sarpy County office. I'm a registered dietitian and an extension educator. I'm here today to talk to you about food safety and preventing influenza A and anything else that's going around right now. Norovirus, as of this week, tuberculosis. There's all different sorts of things going around. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can better keep you and your family from getting ill. One of the biggest things we talk to people about when they are around somebody who's sick, or in a grocery store, or at your local religious affiliation, or any place like a school or even a hospital where there are a lot of people in an enclosed area, you have to start thinking about who's there. Is somebody sick? Maybe I'm not sick, but maybe somebody else is. And can you catch that? What do you need to do to keep yourself healthy? One of the first things we start talking about is hand washing. Research shows us if you wash your hands 8 times a day, you can prevent foodborne illness. You can prevent you being sick for a 50% chance reduction of you being sick. Plain old soap and water. We ask that you use soap. One of the things you need to think about when you get soap for your house or work or wherever is that you look for something without the chemical triclosan in it. Triclosan is a chemical that they've determined that can set you up for antibiotic resistance. So when you're looking for soap, a hand soap, something in a pump, something in a jar, liquid soap is good. Bar soap, not as good, because once you wash your hands with bar soap, then it sits there and it's moist and bacteria can grow on the bar. So we recommend liquid soap. Doesn't matter what flavor, what smell, what kind, liquid soap, no triclosan, and wash your hands. Wash them before you start food prep for your family. Wash them after you go to the restroom. All different sorts of times you need to wash your hands throughout a day. The other thing I like to talk about is hand sanitizer. So a lot of people, instead of washing their hands, use hand sanitizer. And this is not a good thing for you to do, especially at this time of the year. If you're away from soap and water, you're at church, you're at a park, you're somewhere where there is no place to wash your hands, this works. If there's a sink around with soap and water, you need to use soap. It's so important. What this sanitizer does, or hand antiseptic, is it starts to set you up for antibiotic resistance. It kills off some of the good flora on your hands, and it just sets you up. So let's say you get a cut and you use sanitizer all the time. Well, then maybe the cut won't heal and you end up going to the doctor. Then you end up getting antibiotics and they don't work. Not good. Another problem with hand sanitizer is if you have small children, you really don't want this around because you don't want them to drink it. It has alcohol in it. You need to make sure you're very careful about that and where you place it. Another thing you need to think about is if you have hand sanitizer, let's say around your kitchen or in your woodworking area or someplace where there might be an open flame, even next to a candle, you need to think about once you put hand sanitizer on your hands, that is alcohol. Until it dries, you are very flammable. And there have been incidences of people setting themselves on fire because, excuse me, because of the alcohol on your hands. Another thing you need to think about is what I just did. I just coughed. I coughed into my sleeve. I did not cough and not cover my mouth. It's not necessarily appropriate to cover your mouth with your hands because then you're going to have to go wash your hands. Cough into your sleeve, sneeze into your sleeve, sneeze into a tissue. When you sneeze or you cough, your germs go 25 feet in a V-shaped direction. Think about that in a room. 25 feet is pretty far. You can make a lot of people sick just by sneezing or coughing. They don't have to be close to you either. And the other part that you need to think about is that those germs hang in the air for 2 hours after you have sneezed or coughed or anything else. So it's important that you make sure that you cover your mouth. You cover your sneeze, you cover your cough. If you're sick, try to stay away from people. Don't come to work sick and make everybody else sick. I know your job's important, but if you make other people sick, that's not good either. So think about that. Another thing to think about is cleaning and sanitizing. Wiping things down. How often do you go through your house? Let's say somebody's sick, and how often do you go through with some sort of sanitizer, whether it be sanitizing wipes or a sanitizing spray? When was the last time you wiped off doorknobs and light switches? Even people that clean their toilet once a week rarely clean the handle on their toilet, which is probably where a good deal of bacteria lies. Think about your sinks. So your kitchen sink, you rinse your plates in it, you wash your dishes in it, you dump coffee down there. Lots of bacteria in your kitchen sink. Make sure you sanitize it before you wash dishes. That's another place for you to get bacteria that could make you sick. Something as simple as rinsing lettuce in your sink, if it's not sanitized, can take all the bacteria from your sink and put it on your lettuce. And you don't want to do that because the whole goal of you rinsing your lettuce is to be healthier. Sanitize sinks. Sanitize, again, any place you might touch, things you don't normally think about, especially lamps, light switches, all those types of things. When you start preparation in your kitchen, do you wash and wipe down your kitchen counters and your sinks and maybe run a sanitizer over it of some sort? It's important because do you have pets? Have they been up on your counter? Did your cat walk across your counter before you made dinner? What do you need to look at? So sanitizer's huge. The other thing that I like to talk to people about is not touching ready-to-eat foods. We have bacteria naturally on our hands all the time. If you're cutting up a tomato or some melons, or you're tearing some lettuce, or maybe you're buttering bread for somebody, or making a sandwich for your child, you don't want to touch ready-to-eat foods, things that aren't going to be cooked. So it's appropriate to wear disposable gloves. And you don't want to wear latex gloves because latex gloves may cause a latex allergy. Vinyl gloves work really well, but making sure you're not touching ready-to-eat foods. So if by chance you are sick, it's not something that you're going to spread to somebody. And the last thing I'd like to leave you with is, if you are ill, don't prepare food for somebody else. Wait until you're better. At least wait 24 hours after you're better, because you're still spreading those germs. So it's important that you think about taking care of yourself, lots of good sanitation, hand washing. You want to make sure that you clean all your areas, and that you're keeping clean yourself. You're showering, clean clothes, things like that. You pet your pet, wash your hands. You do food prep, wash your hands. Anytime your hands may be contaminated, you need to go wash them in the sink with hot soapy water. The research shows that it just came out a month ago, and it's so terrible. 99% of Americans do not wash their hands appropriately after going to the restroom. 75% don't wash their hands at all. Not good statistics. We need to be good hand washers, especially after going to the restroom. So for Cindy Brison and the Nebraska Extension in Douglas and Sarpy County, I'd like to say please wash your hands. Follow me at Mom of 3RD on Twitter. Please follow us on Facebook. Give our office a call at 402-444-7804 if you have a food or a food safety question. Have a good day.